a claim that defies the laws of physics. A man celebrated as a revolutionary by some and dismissed as a scammer by others. Few names spark as much heated debate as Maxwell Chikumbutso. His bold promises fuel-less generators, wireless renewable power, and electric vehicles that supposedly never need recharging sound like the future we've been waiting for. But where does the truth actually lie? Today, we're dissecting every major claim, every piece of evidence, and every red flag to uncover whether Maxwell Chikumbutso is a visionary, misunderstood, or a master of exaggeration. To understand the controversy, we need to begin with the man himself. Maxwell Chikumbutso is a Zimbabwean inventor who rose to prominence for developing technologies that seemingly defy conventional science. He claims to have created a self-charging electric car, a generator that runs without any external fuel source, and broadcasting technologies capable of reaching vast distances with minimal power. What makes his story more complex is his background. Unlike conventional innovators, Chikumbutso does not hold formal engineering degrees, published research papers, or peer-reviewed studies. Instead, he attributes his inventions to divine inspiration and personal experimentation. His company, Seth Technologies, showcased prototypes that caught the attention of both supporters and skeptics, but while some hail him as a genius whose innovations threaten powerful industries, others argue that he lacks the transparency and empirical verification required for scientific credibility. His narrative sits at the intersection of ambition, mystery, faith, and controversy, giving rise to the central question of this analysis. Should the world take his claims seriously? One of Chikumbutso's most attention-grabbing claims is the electric car that never needs to be plugged in. According to him, the vehicle uses an onboard power generator that keeps the battery charged indefinitely, eliminating the need for external charging stations. This proposal, if true, would represent a revolutionary shift in transportation, outclassing Tesla, Toyota, and every other EV manufacturer overnight, but this claim clashes sharply with known laws of physics. Energy cannot be created from nothing. It must come from a measurable and verifiable source. Engineers point out that no closed system can generate more energy than it consumes, which means an endlessly self-charging car is theoretically impossible. Supporters argue that breakthroughs often appear impossible before they become mainstream. Skeptics respond by pointing out that even groundbreaking innovations require test results, replicable demonstrations, and clear scientific explanations, all of which are absent in this case. No third-party testing facility has confirmed the invention's performance. No engineering blueprints have been published. The demonstrations that do exist offer no clear view of the internal mechanisms. Until detailed data is provided, the claim remains extraordinary and without extraordinary evidence. It cannot be accepted at face value. Another invention attributed to Chikumbutso is the green power device, a generator he claims can produce electricity without relying on fuel, solar power, or external energy. According to promotional materials, this device uses magnetic energy and advanced electronics to deliver continuous power output. Videos show the generator powering homes and appliances, sparking excitement among viewers who dream of free, unlimited electricity. However, experts immediately raise concerns. Any generator producing significant electrical output must draw energy from somewhere. Whether chemical, mechanical, or electromagnetic, the source must be measurable. Chikumbutso has not provided a detailed explanation of the underlying science or published schematics, patents, or laboratory results. Some skeptics argue that the demonstrations could rely on hidden batteries or concealed power sources, common techniques used in staged free energy presentations. Others suggest that the devices may function temporarily but cannot sustain long-term output without external recharging. Still, the narrative persists that Chikumbutso has unlocked a suppressed technology that threatens global energy markets. That argument typically arises in cases where inventors make dramatic claims without scientific backing. While conspiracy theories can be compelling, they do not replace the need for transparent testing. Without verifiable data, The fuel-less generator remains a vision rather than a proven reality. A recurring issue in every one of Chikumbutso's inventions is the absence of independent verification. No accredited engineering body has tested his devices. No university lab has reviewed them. No industry partners have released official evaluations. Despite occasional rumors of interest from major corporations, this lack of verification is especially concerning because Chikumbutso's inventions challenge established scientific principles. Extraordinary claims require rigorous testing, transparent methodology, and repeatability. Without these elements, no technology, no matter how impressive it appears in demonstrations, can be accepted as valid. Defenders argue that powerful interests block such technologies from reaching the public. But this explanation falls short in a global scientific ecosystem where countless independent labs, universities, and researchers exist worldwide. If the inventions worked consistently, any reputable institution would leap at the opportunity to validate and commercialize them. In the absence of this validation, skepticism is not only reasonable, it is necessary. Innovation thrives on scrutiny. If a technology cannot withstand it, then its claims remain unsupported. Certain patterns in Chikumbutso's public presentations raise red flags. Demonstrations rarely show internal components or allow external experts to inspect the devices. Technical explanations are vague, often mixing scientific terms with spiritual references. There is minimal documentation, no peer-reviewed research, and no reproducible experiments. Additionally, his prototypes appear intermittently. Some vanish from the public eye without follow-up results. Others resurface in new forms, but again without verification. This inconsistency is typical of cases where inventions rely on hype rather than engineering. Another concern is the reliance on secrecy. While it is understandable for innovators to protect intellectual property, legitimate inventors still provide enough documentation to prove their claims scientifically. Chikumbutso's insistence that divine inspiration is the core explanation behind his technology creates further complications. Faith may guide creativity, but science requires measurable evidence. These red flags don't prove dishonesty, but they demand caution. When an invention promises world-changing impact yet avoids world-class scrutiny, the burden of proof becomes even heavier. Despite the lack of evidence, thousands continue to believe in Chikumbutso's inventions. Part of the appeal lies in hope. In a world struggling with energy shortages, climate change, and rising fuel costs, the idea of free, abundant energy is irresistible. Then there's the narrative of the underdog genius persecuted by powerful institutions. Many people want to believe that suppressed inventors hold the key to a better future and that mainstream science refuses to accept them because they threaten entrenched industries. Additionally, Chikumbutso presents himself with confidence and certainty. His prototypes look convincing at first glance, and his interviews evoke a sense of destiny and purpose. For some, that's enough to ignite belief. The psychological component cannot be ignored. When people desperately want a solution, even weak evidence can feel strong. Hope can overshadow skepticism, leading many to assume that the absence of proof is evidence of a cover-up. Understanding these dynamics is essential, not to dismiss believers, but to recognize how powerful narratives can become when they promise something extraordinary. Whether Maxwell Chikumbutso is a visionary or a master of illusion remains uncertain. His inventions promise a world liberated from energy limits, but promises alone cannot reshape reality. Science moves forward through transparency, evidence, and validation, three elements missing from his work so far. If his devices truly function as claimed, the path is simple. Open them to independent testing and let the results speak. Until then, the world must remain cautious, curious, and critical. The line between genius and deception is thin, and only proof can reveal which side he stands on.